Original Post Part 1. Title: Met someone in the most ridiculous traffic jam ever. Didn't expect this to happen. So, yeah, I never thought I'd be one of those people who ends up writing something like this. But here I am. This happened yesterday, and honestly, I still can't get over how weird and oddly cinematic it felt. For context, I, 29M, live in a pretty big city where traffic jams are basically a personality trait. You can't survive here without learning to meditate behind the wheel, or, at the very least, perfectly are screaming into your steering wheel without popping a blood vessel. Anyway, yesterday was one of those nightmare days. It was pouring rain. Everyone was driving like their car was on fire. And of course, the city decided to do construction on a major road without telling anyone. So there I am, stuck on the 6-lane highway that has somehow turned into a parking lot. Cars aren't moving, not even an inch. I'm talking, people have turned their engines off, level of stuck. At first, I did the usual, blasted some music, scrolled through my phone, yelled a bit about how my life choices led me here. But after about 40 minutes of no movement, I got that weird restless energy. You know, when you're so bored you consider doing something completely out of character? That's when I noticed other people were stepping out of their cars, stretching their legs, talking to each other. There was even a guy a few cars up juggling oranges like this was a street performance. And that's when I thought, why not? I grab my umbrella, step out of my car, and start walking up a bit. And that's when I see her. She's standing by this tiny blue hatchback, also holding an umbrella, looking like she's 2 seconds away from telling the sky to shut up because the rain just got heavier. And she's laughing. At what? I don't know. Maybe at herself. Maybe at the whole situation. But it's one of those laughs that actually sounds happy. Not like, I'm losing my mind, happy, but genuine, warm happy. And then, because the universe has a sense of humor, we lock eyes. And now I'm just standing there like an idiot with my umbrella half open. Because, guess what? It decided to break the moment I stepped out. So now I'm holding a useless piece of fabric while she watches me struggle like a raccoon, trying to steal food from a trash can. She calls out, having some trouble there? Me, with the confidence of a man absolutely not having trouble. No, just giving my umbrella a motivational speech. She laughed, hard, like bend over, full teeth smile laugh. And I swear, for some reason, that sound made the entire traffic jam feel less like hell and more like some weird adventure. We start talking. Nothing crazy at first, just complaining about traffic, the rain, life in general. Turns out her name is Claire, 28F. She was on her way to visit her sister, and she's also been stuck for almost an hour. At some point, she goes, "Want to make a bet on how long this lasts?" Me? Sure. Loser buys coffee if we ever get out of here. Her if? That's optimistic. Anyway, we end up talking for like an hour out there. People around us are laughing, sharing snacks. Someone even started playing guitar. It turned into this impromptu block party on the highway. I swear I half expected someone to start roasting marshmallows on a car hood. Eventually, traffic moves a little, and we have to go back to our cars. Before leaving, I don't know what got into me, but I asked, "Hey, so coffee bet still on?" And she grins and goes, "Guess we'll find out if the universe wants us to suffer through another traffic jam together." She gave me her number. I have no idea if she gave it because she was being nice or because she actually meant it, but I texted her later, "Hey, it's Motivational Umbrella Guy. You owe me coffee." She replied with, "Bold of you to assume you won." So, yeah, that's where we're at. Haven't seen her since yesterday, but we've been texting back and forth. She's funny, like actually funny, and I can't believe I met someone this cool in a freaking traffic jam of all places. TLDR, got stuck in the worst traffic jam ever. Met a woman who made the whole thing feel less miserable. We made a coffee bet. Might see her soon. Update 1, the coffee bet. Hey everyone, Opie here. I didn't think I'd be back so soon, but you guys asked for an update. And well, a lot happened. First of all, thanks for all the comments on the original post. I didn't expect so many people to find my umbrella incompetence entertaining. But apparently, my suffering brings joy to the masses. Cool, cool. So, about the bet. I texted her the night after the jam. Like I said, we kept joking about who won, since neither of us actually measured how long we were stuck. Her argument: we move a little before you walk back, so technically you lost. My argument: I walked back to my car before you even sat in yours, so I clearly had a head start. Eventually, she goes, fine, let's settle this in person. Coffee. Tomorrow. Cue me, reading that like 3 times to make sure I didn't hallucinate. I might have fist-pumped the air. Don't judge me. We agreed to meet at this little cafe downtown the next day. When I walked in, I saw her immediately because A, she looked amazing, and B, she was waving like we'd known each other for years. That's her energy, just open and easygoing. First thing she says, traffic-free miracle, huh? Me, don't jinx it, or we'll end up stuck outside this cafe for 2 hours. We sat by the window, and honestly, it didn't feel like a first meeting. It was just easy. We talk about everything. Her job, graphic designer. My job, IT consultant, aka professional problem Googler. How she hates pineapple on pizza, but loves pineapple in cocktails. I told her that's hypocritical. And how neither of us has ever been camping because we're both convinced we'd die in the woods within 24 hours. At one point, she pulls out her phone and shows me a meme about traffic jams that she made that morning. It was a picture of a deserted road with a caption, "Still less lonely than yesterday." I laughed so hard people stared. Here's where it gets interesting. The cafe closes at 9, but we didn't notice because we were so into talking. The barista had to gently tell us, hey, not to ruin the vibe, but we're locking up. We ended up walking outside, and guess what? It was raining again. I swear, the universe has jokes. So now we're standing under this tiny awning, and she looks at me and goes, please tell me you didn't bring that umbrella. Me, of course I brought it. It's motivational now. Her, still broken? Me, completely. She laughs, grabs my arm, and goes, okay, come on, I'm giving you a ride before you drown in irony. So yeah, she drove me home. We sat in her car for another half hour, just talking while the rain turned into a full-on storm. When I finally got out, I was like, thanks for the ride. And she just smiled and said, thanks for the traffic jam. Guys, I'm doomed. TLDR, met Claire for coffee. Ended up talking for hours, then sitting in her car during a rainstorm. This feels like a rom-com, and I don't hate it. Update 2, unexpected plans. All right, Reddit, buckle up because this story got a lot weirder, in the best way possible. So after that coffee bet date, Claire and I kept texting. And when I say texting, I mean those long, ridiculous conversations that start with what's your favorite movie, and somehow end with would you rather fight a horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? For the record, she picked the horses. I picked the duck. This is an ongoing debate. Anyway, about a week after coffee, I get this text from her. Hey, totally random, but do you like road trips? Now, I'm not an impulsive person. My idea of living dangerously is buying generic cereal instead of name brand. But for some reason, I just type back, depends. Are you planning on kidnapping me? She replied, nah, too much paperwork. But my friend bailed on a weekend trip, and I hate driving alone. Want to come? Look, I know what you're thinking. Opie, you met this girl in a traffic jam like 10 days ago, and now you're agreeing to a road trip? Yes, I did. Because apparently, traffic jams make me a risk taker. So Friday rolls around. She picks me up in the same little blue hatchback I first saw her in. And the moment I get in, she grins and says, don't worry, I checked her out. 0 chance of traffic jams this time. Spoiler, she lied. Not 5 hours into this trip, we hit another jam. Not as bad as the first one, but enough to make us laugh so hard we cried. She looked at me and went, this is our curse now. But here's the thing. Sitting in traffic with her isn't bad. It's the opposite. We blasted 2000s throwbacks, made up stories about the people in the cars around us, and even tried to guess which car would move first. She won again. When we finally got to the cabin, yeah, she rented a cabin near a lake, because apparently she's secretly a Pinterest board. It was late. I offered to grab us food, but she had already packed this insane picnic basket. Like sandwiches, wine, even a tiny Bluetooth speaker. She's either a serial killer or the most prepared person I've ever met. We sat by the lake for hours, just talking. No phones, no distractions. At one point, she asked me, "Do you ever feel like life throws you into the weirdest places just to see what you'll do?" Me, every single day since that traffic jam. She smiled at that, and then, brace yourself, she kissed me. Just like that. No dramatic build-up, no cheesy line. Just leaned in and kissed me like it was the most natural thing in the world. And here's the kicker. The second she pulled back, it started raining. Again. Her. You've got to be kidding me. Me. At this point, I'm convinced we're in a simulation. We ran back to the cabin laughing like idiots, completely soaked, and spent the rest of the night talking on the couch while the storm raged outside. Nothing else happened. Calm down, Reddit. But honestly, it didn't need to. I don't know what this is yet, but I know I like it. A lot. TLDR. Went on a spontaneous road trip with Claire, hit another traffic jam, ended up at a lakeside cabin, and shared our first kiss in the rain. Someone call Hollywood. Update 3. So, about that just friends thing. Hi, it's me again. And things have escalated. Like, a lot. After the cabin weekend, I thought maybe that was just a fun, spontaneous trip, and we go back to normal texting memes and complaining about traffic. Nope. The exact opposite happened. We've been basically inseparable for the last 3 weeks. Dinners, movie nights, even grocery shopping together, because apparently I'm now the guy who debates which pasta sauce is superior with a woman I met while standing on a highway. For the record, she's wrong. Marinara Alfredo. The weirdest part? It feels easy. No awkward "what are we" talks, no games. Just two people who like being around each other. Except, of course, for the tiny detail that she looked me dead in the eye last night and said, "So, how long are we going to pretend this is just a traffic jam friendship?" I swear my brain blue screened. Me, until the next traffic jam. Her, cute. Try again. So I said the only thing that made sense in my head at the time. Well, considering I'm crazy about you, I'm hoping for a lot more than traffic jams. She grinned like she just won the lottery and kissed me again. So, yeah, we're officially dating now. Or at least I think we are. She hasn't sent me a formal letter, but she did steal one of my hoodies, so that feels legally binding. And yes, for those wondering, we did finally go on another coffee date to settle the bet. She insisted on paying because, in her words, "I let you win because I like you, not because you earned it." Rude, but also adorable. TLDR, Claire and I are officially a thing, and I'm still terrible at umbrellas. Final update. Full circle. All right, Reddit. This will probably be my last update because, honestly, I think the stories come full circle in the most ridiculous way possible. It's been about 3 months since that first traffic jam. Things with Claire have been amazing, better than I could have imagined. She's smart, hilarious, makes fun of my terrible music taste. She's wrong. Early 2000s rock is timeless, and somehow puts up with me. So today, we're driving back from visiting her sister. Clear skies, zero traffic. Life is good. Then, yep, you guessed it, we hit another jam. At this point, I swear the universe just likes messing with us. I look at her and go, well, guess this means we have to get out and mingle again. She laughs and says, "Only if you brought the umbrella." Me, always. It's still broken, by the way. I refuse to replace it. It's tradition now. We step out, start walking around like it's deja vu. People around us are frustrated, honking, all the usual chaos. And then Claire just looks at me with this mischievous smile and says, "You know, if someone told me I'd meet my favorite person on a highway, I'd have laughed in their face." I said, "Good thing you didn't, or I might not have walked over with my useless umbrella." She kissed me, right there in the middle of another traffic jam, rain starting to fall, because of course it did. People were honking. Someone yelled, "Get a room," and honestly, I wouldn't change a thing. So, yeah, That's the story of how the most annoying day of my life turned into the best thing that's ever happened to me. TLDR, met a girl during a traffic jam. Now she's my girlfriend. The universe has a weird sense of humor, and I love it.